What's up, Alphas? It's your boy Alpha May on Keeping 99 Reviews, where we talking about a new show on HBO Max as we look clean, cute, and sexy. I see you Alphas in the building. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe. And hope you enjoy the content. I forgot this show came out, so the first half of the show will be non-spoiler. The second half will be spoiler. So I will let you know when it is, and the whole thing will come up. So the first part is, what is the show about? Rap-ish. I say ish because I don't want to get demonetized, because I want this show to be monetized, but this show is very demonetized show, so be wary when you're watching it. This is a very much mature show with mature topics. The show starts off with Shawna, an up-and-coming rapper. She's not really up-and-coming. She was up-and-coming, but she wanted meaning to her raps. She wanted to be a lyricist, right? And you have her friend from high school named Mia. Mia is the complete opposite of Shawna. Mia doesn't have any ambition, but get paid, ball out, survive, make a better life for her and her daughter. Shawna doesn't have a daughter. Like I said, completely opposite people. It's just some random things. What this show does is it puts a perspective on black women and black culture that I found interesting. So this is the non-spoiler part. We're gonna get in the spoiler part probably the 3, 4, 5 minute mark, and I'll just have a little thing come across the screen. But the one thing that did interest me about the show was the dynamic of the characters. They both have boyfriends. Mia has a producer boyfriend named Lamont. Shawna has the boyfriend you expect to from the way I described her, which I will give even more description in a minute, named Cliff. Now, Shawna, again, is this person who went to college, the smartest girl in school, always overthinking, has to be in control of everything, consistently has to be present. You know what I mean? Me is the loose, let's go, let's have fun. Doesn't matter, we can do it later, we can do it tomorrow, it doesn't matter, I'm not feeling it, you ruining the vibe type. Cliff, as you think, is a person that's basically trying to run for senator, trying to be a lawyer, trying to reach these heights of society as a very smart kid. Is basically going into like one of the top law schools in the country. I'm assuming that's what it seems like. While Lamont, Mia's boyfriend, is a producer who does all right. They live in Miami, and the two basically come together. They're high school friends, and the dynamic come together. Like I said, the spoiler one I will give to you later on. But the dynamic comes in at the point where you realize that these two might need each other. They are so opposite, they might bring each other to a conclusion and more a well rounded person. You see it, I'm going to explain a little more later, but the one thing you notice in the show is the dynamic between who they date, how they think, how they feel, who they're trying to date, and how sometimes it matches and sometimes it doesn't, and how sometimes you believe that this is the way you're supposed to live, and it tries to fit a square peg in a round hole, because again, I am independent, but I want this type of person that doesn't require me to be independent, or I want to be dependent, but this type of person requires me don't. And the dynamic continually happens. It continually showcases itself throughout the whole show. It's a very interesting show. Where I think the show can succeed is that if they find out how to make them come together and how to show the flaws of each person as they grow throughout the episodes of each show. And if they can do that every Thursday and show how this person affecting this person to become a better person, this person affecting this person to become a better person, because neither is wrong, but neither is right. Because there's no one way to live. And I always thought that dynamic was interesting. You and the show keeps you wondering so far in the first 2 episodes if they will actually which relationship will last, or will both last, or will neither last. Also, the use of social media constantly used through the show, the way they filmed it was interesting. It kept me engaged in the show. The constant using Instagram and these features that you know that is currently always used, and how these are like controlling lives on based on viewership and all these and that dynamic and attention and all this stuff that comes with this life that might not be you. So I'm interested to see how they play with that and if they effectively use it, because it's interesting don't mean it's gonna be good. I'm telling you it's an interesting show, but doesn't mean it's gonna be good. You see the dynamic between black men, black women. You see a dynamic between a smart child that might have certain aspects. The show has deep, but it's not deep, right? It's like it has a deep, overarching feel, but it's not a deep show. You have Shawna who wants to hold to these ideals that I'm finna go into in a minute because I have to spoil. But so this is your spoiler one. Like and subscribe. You got like I'm gonna give you some time to do that. Like and subscribe, do all this stuff. We have super stickers. My link tree is in the link and the link below on the Zell May link tree, so you can look at my books, merch, podcast, all those things. Look forward to seeing you. Okay, let's get into spoilers. Shawna is a lyricist. She feels like everybody's carbon copy of everybody else, and all they do is talk about the same thing. There's no tact to it. It is all simply copy and paste. They're not in the lyricism. They're not in any of this with how they look at women, and it's all objectified by men based on a certain ideal. So she hides. She even goes as far to hide her face in a mask while rapping about Bernie Sanders. That's not the one she was rapping about. She was rapping about Black Empowerment, but I feel that she was rapping about Malcolm X and all that stuff too. But she did rap about Bernie Sanders too. Whereas Mia has an OnlyFans. She goes on OnlyFans. She's known for doing that somewhat. She doesn't make a lot of money. It does go over that she makes a little bit of money to get by, but she doesn't make a lot of money. She has rich people that call her, but she has no like goals. Like Shawna has a goal and a dream of being a rapper. Mia has no dream at all. It's brung up by her boyfriend Lamont, and he says, "You got a dream. She don't. She hating on you. Blah blah blah. Cause she does. She's like, I don't know what I want to do in my life. I thought I was just gonna make it big. It's a common thought in the world. Or somebody gonna take care of me that's gonna make it big. That's probably why she dated a producer of rap and thinking he's gonna be the next big thing, and then he doesn't, which could set up some interesting stories later on. So what they happen is she didn't have nobody, but she knows her friend works at a hotel. She calls a high school friend. She hasn't talked to her really in a long time. Her high school friend takes care of her daughter because the Lamont didn't pick her up from school. So Shauna is with Mia's daughter as she goes and does her OnlyFans things and does makeup. Well, in this case, she does makeup for her wedding bridal shower that's at this hotel. So she's at the hotel, so she's not just left her and ran off. She's at the hotel, but she's in the hotel with China. And this dynamic is so interesting. It really is. Like I said earlier, Cliff is this guy who's trying to be a senator or president one day, and it gets to the point where even his friends see them together because while they were together, they went out to the club and got drunk and went to a strip club. And you can see Shauna is really a tight person who don't really get out. You see me as this loose, crazy person, even to the point Shauna couldn't even dance, really. She started dancing better in the episode. Did y'all notice that? But what happens is Mia essentially gets her to rap, and she has this slogan that she says all the time, and they rap about it. And it's like a little freestyle. Seduce. It was like seduce, and I can't was Jake, but that's what it is. So they set that up, right? They set that up, and they have this rap. It goes viral. I think 80,000 views. It's not really viral, but it shows you the mind of some people that like don't have none, but that just a little bit of attention. 80,000 views. I haven't reached 80,000 views on this channel, so it is a big deal. But in the scheme of things, it's not like it's gonna make you rich. But she calls her friends, and Shauna calls her friends and tells her to share it and get them, maybe hook them up with Spotify or something. Her friends. The theme of the show is her friends don't support your dream. They like, hey, you gotta show me something before, which you'll learn in life actually happens once you going for something. people won't just outright just jump on board unless they see results. They have to see you blowing up, and then all of them are gonna be on your team. But you will probably feel the type of way if you just didn't blow up right away. And it shows that like, I can't just help it because I got my job, and I can't just be doing this and using my friends to get you on when you don't have nothing to show for it, which is a reasonable response. By the way, it's very reasonable. So I'm not mad at him for that. And it's like you can't tell her nothing, which you find out in the show that he is thick-skinned. He's telling other rappers how to rap and do all those things. And Mia's the exact opposite. So that's why I say that dynamic, if they work that dynamic when Mia is a little bit focused and Shawna is a little more less uptight, they can be better people overall. If the show dives into that, I think the show can be really good. If it doesn't and it just goes off to the fun thing, it's just a random show about nothing. And that's my thoughts on episode 1 and 2. The month gave it $4,000. The daughter is smart. I think anything else. By the way, did y'all notice that Lamont boy, homeboy could just tell right away just by looking at like a picture that don't even really look like her in that setting? That's how them dudes be, bro. You gotta be careful of your people you be around. They always put little judgments on you. And one big thing I thought about in this episode when she brought up that Shawna like, why we gotta be objectified by men, and she like, I'm not being objectified by men. This is what I want to do, and Shawna felt like it was freeing to her. And that's one thought I always had. You think of something, and you think of people as like, oh, y'all following this crowd, y'all are sheep. But are you just going against it to be different, or to please another group of people you think are intelligent and smart? Which comes into the thing when Cliff friend told him that, and like, you can't be a senator with a wife that's in a rap group with a girl like Mia. And that dynamic led him to go off on her, on Shawna, about you shouldn't do this because that's not who you are. Telling her that's not who you are. Again, instilling these ideals in somebody when they think everybody else is sheep, but are you a sheep? And the same thing for me and everybody else. It's a freeing thought when you can think for yourself. When you think just by I always view the world like this, is it really like this? If that show played into them dynamics, I think it can be an amazing show. If not, I'll get bored with it and we'll stop reviewing it. But you'll see me either live on next Friday with Monray or record it again by myself. But I'm really interested in where this show goes. Let me know your thoughts, like and subscribe, do all that stuff. And remember, I know you alphas in the building. You're a 99. You're an overall sub. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and be part of the overall 99 army. Because again, I see your overalls rising. It's the closest you'll get to 100, baby. Links below. Peace.